the sun beating down on our rented U-Haul like a hammer on an anvil. Boxes stacked high in the back. Our entire life crammed into cardboard dreams. We'd driven 12 hours straight from the city. Kids buzzing with excitement in the back seat. Lisa humming that old road trip tune to keep the peace. And then this woman steps out of nowhere, plants herself in the driveway like she owns the whole damn block, and declares we're not allowed to unload. Not without forking over $5,000 first. $1,000. For what? A moving fee to cover the inconvenience to the neighborhood? I stared at her, jaw slack, heart pounding like a bass drum in my chest. Who does that? Who turns a fresh start into a shakedown? I mean, come on, had we stumbled into some twisted episode of reality TV? Sarah Kensington? Self-appointed queen of Willow Creek Estates. That's who. She adjusted her pearl necklace with manicured nails that screamed, "I lunch at country clubs," and fixed me with eyes like chipped ice. The bylaws. Darling, she purred, waving a laminated sheet like it was the Constitution. All new residents must contribute to the aesthetic fund. Moving trucks scar the curb. You see. Scuff marks. It's unsightly. Unsightly? Lady. We'd sold everything we owned to afford this split-level colonial, our slice of the American dream. White picket fence and all. And now she's gatekeeping it over imaginary curb rash? The air hung thick with the scent of fresh-cut grass and exhaust fumes. A nauseating cocktail that made my stomach churn. Timmy whimpered from behind Lisa's legs, his little voice cracking the tension like glass. Daddy, why is that mean lady yelling? I knelt down, forcing a smile that felt like cracking cement, and whispered, "She's just confused. Buddy. We'll fix it." But inside, fury boiled, hot and unrelenting, mixing with the sharp tang of betrayal. We checked the listings, signed the papers, even attended that godforsaken orientation Zoom where Sarah droned on about mulch standards. Nowhere did it mention extortion. Nowhere. Lisa's hand trembled on my shoulder, her breath hitching in that quiet way she has when she's holding back tears. The kids. They're exhausted. I nodded, but my thumb was already hovering over 911. Screw this. I wasn't about to let some power-tripping busybody bully us out of our home. "Ma'am," I said, voice steady as rebar, "this is private property. We're the new owners. Step aside." Sarah left, the tinkling sound like shattering porcelain, and crossed her arms tighter. "Not until you pay up. Or I'll have the board revoke your deed. We don't need riffraff lowering property values." Riffraff? The word landed like a slap, echoing in the sudden hush as neighbors peeked from behind lace curtains, whispers rustling like dry leaves. That's when it hit me, the sheer audacity. This wasn't just about a fee, it was control. Pure and venomous. Sarah's gaze flicked to our truck, loaded with thrift store furniture and kid-sized bikes. Her lip curling in disdain. "See? That eyesore alone warrants a fine." Eyesore? My blood roared in my ears, pulse thumping against my temples. What kind of monster gate crashes a family's fresh start? I hit dial, the ringtone slicing the air like a siren. 911? Yeah. We've got a trespasser blocking our driveway, demanding money under false pretenses. Send someone quick. Sarah's face drained of color, but she doubled down, whipping out her phone too. "Officer, this man's harassing me. He's violent." Minutes stretched like taffy, the sun climbing higher, baking sweat into our clothes. Emma fanned herself with a coloring book, her crayon-scribbled dreams wilting in the heat. "Is the police coming to save us?" "Mommy." Lisa swallowed hard, forcing brightness. "Absolutely, sweetie. Heroes always show up." But her eyes met mine, wide with that what-if flicker. What if they side with her? What if this neighborhood really is her kingdom? The distant wail of sirens answered. growing louder, a thunderclap of vindication rolling in. Sarah shifted, her heels clicking nervously on the asphalt, click, put, like a countdown to her unraveling. 2 officers pulled up in a cruiser, lights flashing lazy blues and reds against the pristine lawns. The taller one, badge gleaming, approached with notepad in hand. "Ma'am, sir, what's the situation here?" I laid it out. Voice raw but factual. The deed, the unannounced blockade, the bogus fee. Sarah interrupted, shrill as a tea kettle. "It's in the bylaws. I'm the HOA president, enforcing standards." The officer raised a brow, flipping through her printout. The shorter cop, a woman with a no-nonsense bun, scanned our paperwork. "Sir, this looks legit. Mind if we see the full HOA charter?" The twist, the delicious, gut punch twist that made my fists unclench. Turns out, Sarah's bylaws were as real as a $3 bill. She doctored them herself, slipping in that fee clause last month during a special session no one attended because, get this, she'd scheduled it for a holiday weekend and forgot to notify half the board. Whispers from the gathering crowd confirmed it. Mrs. Jenkins from next door muttering about Sarah's creative accounting, Mr. Patel shaking his head over unpaid pool repairs she'd pocketed. The cops pieced it together quick, their radios crackling with dispatch confirmations. "Ma'am, this constitutes fraud, extortion, even. We're gonna need you to step into the vehicle." Sarah's empire crumbled right there on the driveway, her protests dissolving into sputters. "But the neighborhood values." The female officer cuffed her wrists with a soft click that echoed like finality, guiding her toward the cruiser. "Save it for the judge." "Kensington. We've got complaints piling up, misuse of funds, harassment logs from 3 residents. You're looking at charges." As the door slammed, sealing her in with her own venom, a collective sigh rippled through the onlookers. Relief? You bet. But deeper, a spark, the kind that ignites when bullies get their due. We unloaded that afternoon to cheers and cold lemonade from newfound neighbors. The trucks rumble now, a symphony of second chances. Timmy raced his bike down the sidewalk, whooping as the training wheels wobbled free for the first time. Lisa unpacked our wedding china, her laughter bubbling like champagne, the scent of unpacking tape and possibility filling the air. And me? I stood on the porch, watching the sunset paint the sky in bruised purples and golds, a cool breeze whispering promises. Sarah's car got towed later that week, impounded for unpaid tickets she'd racked up dodging responsibilities. Word spread, the board dissolved her presidency overnight, electing Mr. Patel in a landslide. Turns out, she'd been skimming dues for personal aesthetic improvements to her own McMansion, leaving the community playground rusty and the holiday lights tangled in neglect. But here's the real gut twist, the one that keeps me up sometimes. Staring at the ceiling fan's lazy spin, a month later, an envelope arrived. No return address. Inside, a check for $5,000, exact amount, and signed, with a scrawled note, for the curb. Sorry. Sarah's handwriting, shaky as her empire's fall. Had the clink of handcuffs echoed in her dreams too? Or was it the neighbors' turned backs? The sudden silence where her commands once reigned? I tore it up, let the shreds flutter into the recycling bin like confetti from a botched parade. We didn't need her pity money, we'd earned our place with grit and a single, defiant call. Life's full of Sarahs, those thorns in the garden who bloom loudest to hide their wilt. They demand, they dictate, they dim your light because there's flickers so faint. But stand firm, folks. Dial that number. Rally those whispers into a roar. Because justice isn't some distant thunder, it's the storm you summon when the sky clears unfair. And in the aftermath? Rainbows. Fresh starts. A neighborhood that heals. One unpicked gate at a time. Ours did. What's yours waiting for?